Hey, I'm making this short video that I'm going to post on YouTube to show some people some work that I've been doing. Some of you, I'm going to send it to you because I thought it might be fun for you to see it, but there are some others that have specifically requested to see this. I'm just going to real quickly run through some slides about this project that I've been working on, just to give a little more detail. So the project is called Lunaris GM, and I'm using AI to work with AI, and for the nerdiest of reasons, being Dungeons and Dragons. So the whole idea behind this was that I wanted to create a virtual tool that uses AI and a library of information that are all on my home computer, not using the internet at all, not using online AI tools, just on my computer, to quickly find information that exists in 39 different sources of D&D information, to save like new self-generated homebrew content, that's content that I make, into that same library, to work with the AI to create new content to put into the library, and then to work with the AI to build adventures, and add that adventure content back into the library as well. And then the AI can work with me to run games based on all of that content that we have in the library. So the project is built around Dungeons and Dragons, 5th edition only, and the project, I'm calling it Lunaris GM, based on a character from my world of Decanus. Some things that you should know: I'm not a software or computer engineer. I don't know anything about AI. I'm not an expert in that, and I don't know how to code, which was a big part of this project. So these are some details that you don't necessarily need to know for those of you who are not technical, but basically I had to put a program on my computer and an AI model on my computer to make this work. I then had to install Python to write Python code and a bunch of the libraries that come with Python, and I had to use Visual Studio. Then I went out to a site called GitHub, and I downloaded a repository of Dungeons and Dragons data that was put there. That's that 39 different sources of information. And then I had to have the AI model do something called indexing and chunking, which basically looks at all of that data, creates a file to represent what's in it, and then another file that kind of breaks it up into usable bytes. And then I had to create something called a RAG, or Retrieval Augmented Generation tool, because the AI and the AI tools can't see my computer, can't see my file structures or anything. So I have to create this go-between program that the AI can use to see all of that stuff and access it. The next step was to actually make Lunaris GM, the software. So I created that, what's called the RAG pipeline, which had a bunch of parts to it. I then created a graphical user interface. So that's like the program that you access. So when you double click on an icon on your desktop and something opens, that's a GUI, that's a graphic user interface. And that's what handles the interaction between the user, and then also sends queries to the RAG pipeline that then looks into the library so that it can grab information and answer back. I worked on assets and user experience, so logos and splash images and stuff like that to make things a little fancier, and then created a bunch of back-end support structure that kind of behind the scenes supports everything. So now I will give you a demonstration, and I'll tell you it's going to be the most underwhelming demonstration you've ever seen, because it's basically just opening a piece of software. The thing to know is that this is like a month's worth of effort by me, not knowing how to write code, not having any experience with AI, not knowing anything about background architectures or any of this stuff. I just worked with ChatGPT 5, a paid model, and it helped me do this. So here's the icon for my software. It's called Lunaris GM, and there's a little picture of Lunaris in there. It's hard to see because it's so small, but I'm going to double click that, and it'll take a moment because it's not really optimized for speed yet. My logo comes up and fades out, and there's the GUI. Now what I can do is I can type in a question like, or I can make a statement like, "Good day, Lunaris." I can click this button that lights up, little sound goes off, and Lunaris will answer me according to his personality that I've also built into the RAG pipeline. Now I can ask him a question. So I'm asking him, do you have any information about Cobalt? And he says, indeed, kobolds are fascinating creatures, often misunderstood due to their cunning and unpredictable nature. And it gives me a bunch of information, not all the information, but a bunch of general information. Now, this next part is just Lunaris kind of from his own personality, adding some information. You can see that it points out that this is an optional quote or anecdote. So there are parts of the code that still need to be worked on so that it doesn't tell me what it's doing. Something else I can do with this GUI is I can minimize it. I can save this answer into the library by clicking that red gem. You didn't see anything happen, but it worked. And then I can also close the GUI. And that's my demonstration. Hope you enjoyed it. Bye.